So, here we are. I'm Klaus.
And I'm Sarah.
Yeah. We're going to teach on an education called ICT-based educational design here in autumn. And we're going to talk to you about entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Yes. So, something.
I want to ask you about our students class. Tell me something about this kind of students we're going to have.
Well, they're going to do ICT-based educational designs with children, grown-ups, old people. They're going to do it in schools, libraries, companies.
And who are these students?
Well, we don't know in advance.
What kind of competences do they have?
Well, they've got
What's their background?
Got a lot, really. Many of them are teachers,
Right.
preschool teachers.
Yeah.
Some of them come from companies, and they've got a lot of skill. They are reflective practitioners.
But they work with digital stuff, right? They work with...
They've done a lot of it. Quite a few of them have done a lot of it already.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is that they're very good at combining theory and practice, doing stuff and thinking about it, and inventing new stuff. That's the point. They're quite good at inventing new ideas, new stuff, new ways of doing it.
Because that's really interesting. You use the word inventing, because I would say if they do that kind of stuff, then they're entrepreneurial.
Exactly.
Yeah?
What you call entrepreneurial mindset, right?
Yes, yeah. Those are your creative students. Those are the ones who can think differently.
Yes, exactly. Okay, Sarah. Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, you used the word inventing, right?
Yeah.
And I use the word creative as well. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about students who are able to combine ways of thinking about their expertise and their competences with possibly new ways of doing things in the world.
New ways of doing things in the world.
Yeah, and bringing value to the people that they're working with. So that's being entrepreneurial. Now, if you want to work entrepreneurially, then we have a researcher who has looked into this, and her name is Saraswati, and she says that expert entrepreneurs, people who are really good at doing this, they use something called effectuation.
Okay. And now, be ready. The next session, the next movie is about effectuation. So, Sarah, let's pretend I know nothing at all about effectuation.
Well, Klaus, you
Which I don't.
know actually very little about effectuation, but yeah.
Now,
okay.
There are 5 principles, right?
Yeah, but let me tell you a little bit about the way entrepreneurs who are experts, they work.
Okay.
If you were thinking about solving a problem, normally you'd be given a problem and be asked to look for a solution.
Okay.
And then you'd maybe get an idea about, okay, this is the way we can solve that problem.
Uh-huh.
That's a very causal way of thinking. We call that causation.
Causation.
Now, effectuation starts in a completely different place. Effectuation starts by saying, okay, so who am I? What is it that I am good at? What are my resources? What are my competences? What are my skills? Okay. And once you plot those kind of things, then you have an idea of what your area of expertise is really based on. You might also be able to say, but I have lots of friends, lots of networks that I can actually draw on. So those would be your resources too. When you work in different areas of expertise, you will naturally come across problems. And it is those problems that you, in your area of expertise, will be irritated by, frustrated by, and want to solve. So the entrepreneurial way of thinking would be to draw on your own competences, to draw on your own resources, and to look at ways of tackling this problem. Not looking for the solution, but looking for different ways to solve the problem. And out of those different ways, you would choose the best way. So that's the effectual way of tackling problems in entrepreneurship.
Okay. I know there's a difference for you between causation and effectuation. And I think it's a quite interesting one. It seems like causation, you have to know the answer in advance nearly.
Almost, yeah, you're exactly right.
Okay. So that's cheating, isn't it?
Yeah, and how can you predict an answer? If you've got a problem, how do you know what the answer to that problem is? You're just guessing if you think you've already got the answer.
But it's so easy to jump to conclusions, isn't it?
Yes. And in actual fact, a lot of our teaching in the normal education system is based on, here's the problem, look for the solution. And it's based on teaching our students to think causally.
And in reality it is, find the answer, and the answer is already given. The teacher knows the answer in advance, right?
Yes.
So what you're looking for is processes where you do not know the answer in advance.
Yeah.
For real. That's research.
Yes.
Also.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So, take number something. Now I want to know about the 5 principles.
Yeah.
What's the first one?
I know you've heard about these 5 principles. If we start with the student that we have, we want them to look at what their competences are, and we want them to be aware of what their competences are. And we call this bird in the hand. Let me just show you.
A bird in the hand. Be ready for this, because now it's going to come.
Yeah. Here we have
Wow.
a bird.
You just have to show it so everybody can see the bird.
Okay, this way.
This way.
Yeah, there we are.
There it is. Oh, well.
There's a bird in the hand.
Let's call it that. It's a dinosaur. What we call this is a bird, right?
It looks like it.
Okay, a bird in the hand. That's the first principle.
That's the first principle. The bird in the hand is what you have, what resources you have. And if our students are not aware of what their resources are and what skills they have, and I'm not talking about only academic skills, but it's whether you're good at fishing, whether you're good at music, whether you're good at sport. It could be those kind of skills as well, because you draw on your whole self when you're working effectually.
So you look at what you've got, what you know, what you can.
Yes. Yeah.
Does that also goes for those you work together with, right?
Exactly.
Not only me, it's the people, the group.
Yeah. Because in effectuation, you would, once you know what you can do, you would also have resources in the form of networks of people, and those people will also bring other resources into your area. So, for example, if you are in my network, then I would ask you what resources you could bring, and you can bring different resources, ones that I don't have, because you can work this computer and because you can film, and I can't do that.
Wow.
So you're already you're already bringing in different resources.
Super. Wow. The next principle, number 2.
Yeah, we said that there's 5 principles in effectuation. Now, they don't come in a particular order, except that I always like to start with bird in the hand, because that's what's closest to us. Okay. But as soon as you start working together with other people and start thinking about what the problems are that you want to look at, and what problems there are that are causing you frustration in your life or in your workplace or wherever it is, then you will be working in areas of uncertainty and risk. Mm-hmm. Now, when you work in areas of uncertainty and risk, you will also come across things that really stop you with working the way you want to work with. For example,
I'm very excited now.
Yeah, this is getting complicated, because this is a lemon.
Yes, you have to turn around so everybody can see it's a lemon.
Yes.
Well, I asked her to do a lemon in Lego, and this is
that's the closest I could get. It was all yellow.
It's really working not causation, but it's working effectuation, because that's what we got out of it.
Yeah. So when life throws you lemons, or when it gives you problems,
yes,
something sour, something bitter,
yes.
What do you do with all these lemons? Well, you squeeze them, add a bit of sugar, and then you have lemonade, right?
Yes, of course.
So that's what we also want our students to realize, that they shouldn't just stop because there is a problem, but that they should maybe make use of these and see them not as something sour and bitter, but add something to it that sweetens it and makes it actually a resource for you. So that's another principle that entrepreneurs work with, that they don't get stopped by a problem or something coming in the way of the way they want to work. A third principle is...
I have to.
You have to cut me
I have
off.
to cut. Sorry about that interruption, Sarah.
That's all right.
Well,
I was just getting going there. Yeah.
principle number 3.
Principle number 3. I think probably the next one would be your affordable loss. Now, for our students, they're not going to be making big investments money-wise, but they're going to be making big investments time-wise. So what they have to do is they have to think of how much are they willing to invest in this. So here you have my purse, which at the moment is empty.
Quite empty.
So I'm obviously not willing to invest very much in this because I don't have a lot of money, but I might have a lot of time.
Ah. So you've got something to invest.
Yes,
Something you want to invest. Affordable loss.
affordable
What's
loss.
that mean?
What does that mean, that you're willing to lose, right?
Ah.
So no, I don't have any money. I'm not willing to lose 10,000 kroner because I don't have them. But if I invest 30 hours of my time in Klaus and Sarah's project, that's okay, because I believe that I can use these 30 hours. And if at the end the project sucks, well, that's only 30 hours of my time.
Okay. So now it's going to be difficult because Sarah's made a big thing out of Lego, and
Yeah.
she's going to transport it up here. I'm just waiting to see what it is. That's
Yeah.
principle number 4, right?
The next principle is called the crazy quilt principle.
Okay.
And the idea is that I should have come with some kind of patchwork quilt or something to illustrate this. But of course, Klaus only gave me a box of Legos, so I had to do the best I could.
Yes, I'm an evil man.
So
Yes.
this is my crazy quilt.
Yes.
There you are. Can you see how all the Lego kind of fits together, and that there's different colors, and that there's even different shapes in there?
Yep, I see that quite clearly.
Good. Because the crazy quilt principle is about bringing people and resources together and making them to work together in ways that they maybe hadn't imagined that they could work. That's why it's a crazy quilt. So
Okay.
I had never imagined that Klaus and I could actually teach together. I had never imagined that I would actually be telling Klaus about evacuation, but here we are.
Yes.
So it's a little bit crazy, this.
So we combine stuff that
Yes.
nobody knew in advance could be combined,
Yeah,
like you just did with the Lego bits.
exactly.
Okay, what if it... Yes, let's see. So, here we are again. It's like a BBC TV serial, this one. And the last and the final principle is
Is the pilot in the plane, right?
pilot in the plane.
Which is this little guy here. There he is, right?
Okay, yes, wonderful.
Now, the wonderful thing about evacuation is that when you use these principles properly, that you will also feel that at some point that you have control, and that you're able to see your project, your ideas unfold. So you're actually the pilot in the plane, and you get a picture of what's going on, and you feel that you've got some control over the situation.
Okay. Just to clarify one thing. Now we showed you the principles. Viewers, you've seen the principles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But do they always go in that order? Could we switch it around, or could one repeat some of them, or how is that?
Yes, I would say affordable loss is something that you have to be thinking about almost all the time, right?
Yeah.
Because you're investing something, you're investing money or time or your resources or other people's time, whatever. The life throwing you lemons, you never know when that's going to happen. It might happen very few times during your project, but it might also happen lots during your project. So those are things that you need to be aware of when you're working effectually.
So that goes on all the time. So the pilot in the plane always risks to, or risk he has to find, or she has to find new ways of quilting and flying, even though there might be lemons thrown at one.
Yes,
the
trying to
time.
knock you out the plane. Watch out for passing lemons.
Feels like an old computer game we're talking about that. And you also all the time have to find friends who knows more about some stuff than you do
Yeah.
in the process.
Yes. Not always friends, but those friends might have connections that you can draw on. And because of your engagement and your passion for the project, then you can bring them in and get them to commit to the project and get them to be part of your crazy quilt. So Klaus, if we go back to the beginning, which was my first question about who our students are, we've got to think about how we're going to teach them for the next semester and what it is we want them to solve. I mean, we're not giving them a problem, are we?
Now we're going to present them for the idea about the laboratory,
Yeah.
the experimenting community that has to work together in different ways, and we're going to ask them about some of the things we've been talking about. How to combine analog, digital, how to combine physical, virtual,
Yeah.
how to combine narrative construction, and we've given them an arena to do it. They have to end up at a main library, a new, fashion, beautiful, big main library here in town. They have to end up doing some stuff there together with we don't know who, but we also want them to do something together with people around in Denmark. So
we have students who are experts in the digital materials, resources. They also have an expertise in pedagogy. They maybe have access to children, to young people.
And they've got two teachers who are trying to put themselves in that plane. Because basically what we've been talking about, we're going to do. They're going to run through or go through this effectuation model from A to Z, all of it.
Yeah.
And that means that I'm not a teacher who knows all the answers, but we are teachers who might know how to ask the questions.
Yes. We're helping them facilitate the process because effectuation is a process. And we want them to go through the process. They discover for themselves, as you said, they experiment with what it is their resources can bring to the world and what it is the value is they want to create for the people they work with.
A classroom is going to be a laboratory.
Yeah, an experimental laboratory. Yeah.
So be ready for the next video.